Welcome to the Prime Life Project podcast, a place to help you unlock your full potential, both mentally and physically, to become the best version of you. Welcome to the Prime Life Project podcast. I'm your host, Daniel James, and I'm joined again by Heather. Say hello, Heather.
Hi, I'm Heather.
And last time I didn't introduce Heather very well, and I got told off that I didn't introduce Heather very well. So I'm going to give Heather a minute to just introduce herself, because she's an important part of the podcast, and she brings a lot of value, as you heard on the last podcast. On the last podcast. So Heather, tell them a little bit about yourself.
Okay, a minute. Pressure's on. I'm Heather. I'm a broadcast journalism student at Nottingham Trent. And the reason I wanted to get involved in the podcast is I have my own blog, so I talk about mental health and self-development and things like that.
What's your blog name?
It is heathersperspective.com.
We'll put a link on there.
Do it. I don't upload that regularly. I really should.
Now there's pressure. You've now announced it to the world that you've got a blog about mental health. You better start writing on there again.
All right, okay.
The pressure. If you put it on there now, it's out there.
It's out there. Daily uploads.
There we go. Daily uploads. Carry on as you were.
So I'm just really interested in like self-development, and I think this podcast really like resonates with me and everything I've been through. I've had my own share of kind of like diet and fitness stories and stuff, so I can relate to quite a lot of the things that we're discussing. Yeah,
which is awesome. So again, that's why I got Heather on here, because when I first met Heather and we had a chat, we got on really, really well. And straight away, the stuff we were talking about, I was like, you can definitely add some value to this. And again, as I found out on the last podcast, you definitely added a lot of value. So again, Heather's here. She will be co-hosting, and she's absolutely awesome. So make sure you check her blog out as well. Because again, anything to help you guys, that's basically what this is all about. Like I said before, the podcast is all about helping you guys in any way that we can. So really happy to have Heather here. So today we are going to be talking about routines and habits. And this is one of the things where when people hear it, they're like, oh, well, that's boring. That's no good for me. But I promise you, like, routines and habits are the foundation and backbone to not just succeeding when it comes to your health and fitness goals, but also when it comes to just everyday mental health. Because as we're going to discuss later on in the podcast, like, being all over the shop causes you to, inside your head, a lot like turmoil. And if you can actually get that routine and habits set in and the positive structure in your life, even if you're having a shit day, you can nip it in the bud straight away and actually end the day on a positive. So the obvious question I need to ask you, Heather, is do you have any routines?
I actually do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Morning or evening, or both?
Both.
Do you these people who've got to put the socks on the one foot?
Oh, no, like, not that intense, but like, I feel like the evening, I'll prepare my morning.
Okay.
And then like...
So what do you do? What does Heather's routine look like? Talk me through it.
So I normally go to the gym in the morning because I like to just kind of get it out of the way. So like in the evening, I'll be like, all right, I need to like make my breakfast, like pop my bag. I've got like a little daily planner, so it says like what I've got going on each day, like prepare my lunch for the next day. And then in the evenings, kind of like my routine is to prepare for the next day, so it kind of loops around, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So your morning, do you have like a morning thing? So you go to the gym in the morning.
Yeah.
So like doing that. What else you do? Is it like, so do you have like a pre-gym routine you do as well?
Not really, other than just drink coffee and eat an apple.
Oh yeah, so we discussed that me and coffee had a very unhealthy relationship. Me and Heather have a very unhealthy relationship with coffee, so that's something we also share in common. So yeah, I can relate to that. We messaged this morning, didn't we, about this podcast, and what was it, 9 o'clock?
Yeah,
and we both had two coffees. Yes, there we go. So me and Heather share that unhealthy relationship with coffee. So that's a massive thing when it comes to routines in the morning. So that's something. Did you do that yourself, or like, well, obviously you did it yourself, but did you read about that, or is that just something you've developed?
I just kind of realised I prefer working out in the morning,
yep.
And then I thought if I get it done, if I have a 9 a.m. and I do it before then,
yep.
I end up tired by 2 o'clock anyway, so I might as well just get it done, and I just prefer it. I feel more energetic.
So what about the evening routine? Did you just do that because you're like, it saves you time in the morning, or?
Yeah, and it also means in the evening I have time to just kind of chill and do whatever I want. So if I want to see my friends, I can. I'm not like, oh, I've got to go to the gym or whatever. And it means like I've got more chill time in the evening, so I can kind of do whatever I want then. I think it works.
Yeah. As long as you're getting university stuff done and you're chilled and relaxed, then it's clearly working. But I don't know if it's something like you'd read, or like, oh, you've got to get routines, and you're like, okay, routines are really like good. Was it something you just fallen into? Did you like just happen to do it one day and like, this is working?
I think it just fitted with my routine. I think I just developed it.
Awesome. No, that's incredible. I'll talk about my routine in a second, because my routine is a little bit nuts and people will be like, this guy's absolutely insane. So, but I've got a quote again. I started with a quote last time. I've got another quote here. This is from a guy called James Clear, and he's got a book called Atomic Habits. Have you read that book? Have you heard of it?
I've heard of it. I've not read it yet.
Very, very good book. Recommend you read it. Absolutely incredible. Audiobook's really good as well. So his quote is, the most effective way to change your habits is to focus not on what you want to achieve, but rather on who you wish to become. So that's something that I absolutely love. So rather than just like trying to change things to get to a goal, actually, who do you want to become? And then from there, you can then almost mirror them and get your habits and routines in place to become like that person, if that makes sense. If you've got like a successful businessman and you see what his routine is, then okay, I can try that and see how it fits in. So rather than start from scratch and being like, right, so I want to be really successful when it comes to the gym, for example. Like, I want to go to the gym, but I don't really know what to do. And then we just found out that you're successful in the gym because you plan the night before. So people can then try that because they want to become like you, who is a successful gym goer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So rather than just doing it, I need to go to the gym, what do I do? It's like, actually, so Heather does this and Heather says it works. So I'm going to try that, see if it works. So basically mirroring someone, which is basically how I've built up my entire, let's say empire, it's not really an empire. My fitness business was looking at online mentors, I call them. So they have no idea that they're my mentors, but they're my mentors. Sort of like a creepy stalker. So I follow them on Instagram and I listen to stories and all that sort of stuff, doing a lot of reading into them. And they've all got these routines. So this is where my nutty morning routine comes from. So Tony Robbins, I've mentioned on the last podcast, and a guy called Ed Milet, they have cold showers in the morning. Well, they don't have cold showers. One of them has a cryo chamber, which I can't afford.
A what?
And a cryo chamber. They're the ones where you go into it and it like fully submerges you from the face down, and it's like freezing cold.
Oh,
Have you not seen them?
I've never heard of that.
Oh my God, I need to try and find a picture. But basically, like you go into this little case.
So it's like a freezer.
Essentially, it's a freezer for your body. That's what it is. So that's what Tony Robbins does. They cost like thousands and thousands and thousands. And then Ed Milet has got a house on a lake. So he just literally goes into his freezing cold lake every morning. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a cryo chamber, nor do I have a lake. So my thing is a cold shower. So my morning routine starts off me getting out of bed, and I will go into a freezing cold shower. And I'm so anal about this, I actually paid to get my shower refitted because it wouldn't go cold enough. So I know. Everyone at home's like, is this guy for real? Now, I absolutely love a warm shower. But my thing is, I read it from Tony Robbins. So people say there's a lot of health benefits to it. I don't do it for the health benefits. I do it for the mental health benefits of doing it. Which when I read, I was at a really bad place at the time, like I spoke about. So I was literally like, give me something that's going to fucking help me and I'll do it. Cold showers, right? If that's all I've got to fucking do is take a cold shower, I'll take a fucking cold shower. So there's not a single day that I want to step into that cold shower. Not a single fucking day. Not a single day at all. And my brain, that little voice in my head is, don't need to do it today. Come on, we don't need to do it. But every single morning I choose to wake up and take control of what I want to do by silencing that voice, and I get in that shower and it's fucking brutal. But then once I'm in that shower, I'm in that shocked state, I then do my little mantras. So I've got a little mantra, I'm going to go into my mantras, but I've got little mantras that I tell myself about what I want to achieve and the kind of person I want to become. So then straight away, within the first 10 minutes of me waking up, I've taken control of my brain. I've gone out my comfort zone massively, which some people don't do their entire waking hours of the day. And I've reminded myself the kind of person I want to be for that day. So straight away, within 10 minutes of waking up, I'm on a level that I'm just trying to stay out for the rest of the day. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So some deep stuff I told you to do.
Wow.
And then I do my hair. Then it gets boring, do my hair, brush my teeth and all that sort of stuff. But that's my morning routine. Then my evening routine, an hour before I go to bed, so let's say I normally try and go to bed in bed asleep at 10 o'clock. So at 9 o'clock I go upstairs, go to bed. I'll have a warm shower to calm down. I'll take on my supplements. I will then meditate for a minimum of 10 minutes. I'll then read a book and I'll fill in my journal and I'll go to bed. That's my evening routine. And that's literally what I do all the time. And I get told I'm boring. But that is basically my routine. Don't look at me like that.
To be fair,
Don't
some
look
of
at me
these
like that.
things sound quite similar to what I do. I don't think I've ever had a cold shower in my life by choice.
Try it tomorrow.
A student life, the boiler will probably break.
There you go.
There
There you go. See, when the next time the boiler breaks, you're going to be like, right, Daniel does this every morning, and you're going to be fine. Anybody listening when the boiler breaks, just be like, right, okay, Daniel does this every day. But honestly, change is a positive.
Yeah.
There's a guy called Wim Hof. Have you ever heard of Wim Hof?
No.
It's called the Iceman, is his nickname. He basically talks about how in the Western culture and society, we're basically conditioned to be comfortable. So basically, the human body is designed to adapt, but we're making things so comfortable for ourselves, we're basically destroying ourselves from an evolutionary perspective. So actually having that cold shower every morning is challenging our genes and our expression to actually be shocked and get uncomfortable. Because you've got to think we're not designed to be inside like this. We're not designed to be in houses with air conditioning and heating. So basically we're making things comfortable for ourselves. So that's why I love doing it. I thought, I'll give this a go. When you first do it, it's fucking brutal. It feels like you're being like stabbed in the chest with knives. But then when you control your breathing, which is what it's all about, so the whole meditative stuff I do, you actually control your breathing and realise that the cold is a lot in the mind. So the mind tries to like take control.
Yeah.
Like, this is cold, I'm struggling, I can't breathe. But then you're just like, no, we're good. we're good. Try it tomorrow.
To be fair, it's like I've sometimes been on runs really early in the morning in winter when it's freezing, and I know it's horrible, but then I get it done and I'm like, I don't have to do that again.
But how much better do you feel? When you come in and you're done, how good do you feel?
A lot better. I think mentally as well, because I'm like, I don't have to do it now.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah, and you've already achieved something for the day. And again, especially if it's cold, you've almost like shocked yourself and you're a bit like... So you come in and you're like, you feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
So that's a massive, massive thing for me. So again, one of the things where anybody listening to this, either watching it on YouTube or in the podcast, I challenge people to actually write down what do they actually do in the morning. So this is what I get my clients to do, because some people have no idea what they actually do in the morning. They just get up, do things, get to work, go to bed, do things. They just do. They don't really know what they do. And this again is from James Clear in the book Atomic Habits. He basically talks about you've actually got to identify what are you actually doing in the morning. What is your morning routine, and what does it look like, and does it actually benefit you in any way, shape, or form? Because a lot of your morning routine probably might not be benefiting you. You're just doing things for the sake of doing things, and it's actually causing you more issues and discomfort than it is actually helping you. So, for example, most people wake up in the morning late because they've snoozed their alarm 10 times. They don't know what clothes they're wearing for the day. They've got no food in, no milk in. They're stressing, they're worried, and they're walking out the door 5 minutes late, stressed. They're getting in the car, driving to work stressed. They're worried. Traffic lights, especially in Nottingham at the minute, all stuff that's going on. Worried, anxiety kicking in, and they get to work. They feel absolutely horrific, and then Janet gives them a bit of paperwork. They don't deal with it very well. They're freaking out. They're stressing out, and their whole day is just a shit show from literally the minute they wake up, because they've not taken control of their day. And this is where I talk about being either active in the morning or reactive. And a lot of people are reactive. They wake up late, first thing they do is they'll check their Instagram. Maybe see that, I don't know, Dave that used to date, has got a new girlfriend, and straight away they're like, fucking Dave.
Dave
angry.
and Janet are causing havoc.
There we go, Dave and Janet. Bloody Dave, Janet. Sorry to any Dave and Janets out there, something personal. But straight away, that's what they see, and they're bombarding themselves with that negative emotion as soon as they wake up. So they've woken up in a good state because you're waking up in a good mood. But then straight away you see Janet and Dave, and your mood instantly drops. But then you're snoozing. Oh, I don't want to get up. And all this time, you're stressing. You're going from a place of being reactive to the day. We spoke about last week when we talked about the ships moving and stuff, like, and the sea of life taking over. Like, people need to actually take control of what's going on. So my thing is, when it comes into the morning, I say to my clients, for the first 30 minutes you wake up, don't look at your phone. Because then straight away, you wake up on your terms. You're not looking at the news about this bloody coronavirus that's going on, constantly filled with worry, fear, dread. Like, you can wake up, have a shower if you want to, look after the kids if you've got kids, make your breakfast, do whatever it is. Then you can turn the phone on when you are ready and you're at a place on a level to deal with what's thrown at you, because you're good. Does that make sense? You've got yourself in a good place. Then it's like, right, world, what have we got for me today? And then you go from there.
Yeah.
Because people don't do that.
I think most people use a phone to just avoid being in their own head. The minute you wake up.
That is another podcast in and of itself.
If it's from the
deep.
minute you wake up, if you can't even be with your own thoughts for 30 minutes, then it's not a phone you need. It's like something else.
I know that, again, this whole thing with the podcast, the whole thing with this is that that's what people will try and do. They'll be looking on social media to give them a feeling. Like, let me find some funny meme or something. But then it's only when they come across something negative, it has the exact opposite effect.
Yeah.
So my thing is, if you're searching for something, let's say you're searching for happiness on social media. If you're searching for that feeling and Instagram doesn't give you that, you're instantly going to feel lonely because you were putting your feelings on this inanimate object. It didn't give it to you, so then you're going to be left with the feeling you're trying to avoid in the first place. Does that make sense? It's like you've got a dog. So if you're feeling like unloved, your feeling is I'm unloved, you call your dog over to get a bit of love and the dog doesn't come, you're going to feel unloved, which was the feeling you were trying to avoid in the first place, because you've put your feeling on that dog. The dog don't bloody know. And we do this all the time with humans. We're getting some deep stuff. I didn't think we're going to go down this path. But this will do with humans and stuff. So I don't know what sort of headspace you're in. So if I'm trying to get a reaction or response from you, if I'm putting my emotions on you and you have no idea, I'm going to then think a certain thing about you if you don't give me the emotion I want.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Do you know what I mean? It's one of the things where it's like, if I need you for intimacy or like just some sort of affection, but you're busy doing something and you don't give it to me, then it's just like, okay, well, she clearly doesn't like me.
Yeah,
and then straight away, I feel a different way to you. Does that make sense? Yeah? Awesome. So, moving on. Give myself 2 minutes. So when it comes to that, have you heard about blue light?
I've heard of blue light glasses. I've not bought any myself, but I've got the filters on my phone that turn on automatically to shut it off.
So I was going to say about this, a lot of people in their evening routines, like a typical person's evening routine will basically consist of Love Island or some crappy TV show along that description, being on the phone, being on the laptop. You're different, Heather. Like you're just gravitating on a different level. Okay,
I don't watch Love Island. I watch documentaries.
There we go. Documentaries about aliens.
No, I don't.
You're definitely an alien conspiracy theorist person.
I don't have the attention span to watch anything.
You are definitely, aren't you? Yeah.
To be fair, I'm listening to a podcast about the dark web that's really interesting.
Okay, let's talk about dark web off air so we don't get shut down. Like Apple closes us down. So normally, people's like evenings consist of like watching some sort of TV or being on their phone or something, or lying in bed and have the TV on in the background. But there's been a lot of research that's found that exposure to these blue lights, so the blue light that's on the phones, in the lighting, like in the gym, commercial gyms, or just normal house lighting, actually suppresses the production of melatonin. So have you heard of melatonin?
Yeah.
So melatonin, for those who don't know, melatonin is the hormone that's secreted from the brain that when it starts to get dark outside in the evening, you start to get a little bit drowsy. That's melatonin basically telling you that it's time to go to bed. So it's basically the internal, your body clock, your circadian rhythm, basically your body's natural rhythm that's basically saying it's time to go to bed. And research actually found that these blue lights on our phones, on the TV, on artificial lighting, actually suppresses the production of melatonin, which can actually stop people from going to sleep. So although you may feel a little bit drowsy, your melatonin hasn't really kicked in, which is why now Apple, your Androids, or your tablets, computer screens have that orange filter to block the blue light. However, your TVs don't have that. So if you're spending a lot of your evening watching TVs, it can suppress it. There's a statistic, I should have done the research on it, that I think exposure to the blue light can knock your sleep back by 30 minutes. So if you're watching a lot of TV before you go to bed or playing on your phone and you don't have that the blue light filter on it, it can actually massively impact your night's sleep.
I think that reminds me as well. I used to work in a hospital and I do evening shifts or late shifts, and the lights for there are really bright, so I'd get home and I'd be really tired. And if I didn't like go for like a bath or something, I couldn't get to sleep because I was still awake from the lights.
So people that work like nightclubs and stuff. So when you're out late and doing stuff, your brain's just so active because you basically suppress your melatonin. So the body's like, I want to sleep, and you're suppressing it. It causes massive issues. So it's one of the biggest things I say to clients when it comes to their evening routine is basically have some sort of blue light blocker on the phone if they've got that. But an hour before they go to bed, turn off their phone, turn off the laptop, stop watching TV, because also it then calms the brain down a bit as well. Because if you're going to bed and you're watching a horror documentary, your brain's going to be on overdrive. If you're on your laptop working, you're still going to be worrying about Dave and Janet at work. Dave and Janet. Sorry, Dave and Janet. I don't know who you are. Dave and Janet at work, then you're going to be thinking about that before you go to bed. So your brain's going to be basically working on overdrive, which is the exact opposite of what you want before you go to bed. So like what I normally recommend to clients is kind of like what my evening routine is. Like, as you said, have a bath, some sort of nice warm shower. So in the morning, the cold shower I have alerts me, gets me awake, which is what you want in the morning. But the warm shower actually makes you more relaxed, so relaxes your muscles. I say to people, have a nice warm bath if you can. Again, if you can do it as a female, have your candles, have your bubble bath, whatever it is, but relax. But again, some people can't do that because they've got kids, which is fine. When the kids go to bed, then do it. Even if it's just 5 minutes, but just have that nice little shower, but then do the journaling. So do you do any gratitude journaling?
Of course I do. Of course.
I knew that
part
was
of my brand.
Do you know what? I should have said, exactly, but before I even asked it, I thought, I should have probably asked this before we started. Because if I'd said, do you do it? And you said no, I'd have been like, right, that's completely thrown me off. So what got you into gratitude journaling?
So I did it like a few years ago and then I stopped because I was like, my life's great now. And then I kind of got slipped out of the habit of it. And then it was this December, actually, I was like, okay, I need to sort some things out. And then I got into it through finding out about it online and books and stuff.
What did you find out? What is your definition of what do you class as gratitude journaling, and why do you do it? What did you learn about it?
So I learned about it through the law of attraction, and kind
Heather,
of like,
we need to have a chat about podcast conversations, because we could just go into all sorts of stuff. Like, we're going down a rabbit hole here. So law of attraction, yeah.
But yeah, like, just to keep it simple, like, basically how, like, when you appreciate what you've got, you kind of attract more of it.
Yes.
I know that's like debatable, but
no, it's not debatable.
It does help.
Oh, with stuff like this, people say it's debatable. Anybody that does this stuff will tell you it's not debatable.
Yeah,
it's non-negotiable. Anyone that hasn't done it will tell you it's a load of namby-pamby. Anyone that has heard that and thinks mamby-pamby, try it, and I guarantee you'll change your mind on it.
I've converted 2 of my housemates to do it. So.
Best thing that happened. This is what I say so this is non-negotiable with my clients when they come to see me, when they have the conversation with me or any of my coaches. I'll say to them, are you prepared to spend 30 minutes before you go to bed working on yourself? It's in the questionnaire. And if they don't fill it in as a yes, and when I meet them, they're not willing to do it, then I will not take them on as clients. Because it's one of the things where it's that important to me. If they're coming for that reason, like if they're coming to me with issues and they almost like want a bit of life coaching, then it's non-negotiable. I try and get other people onto it if they're just coming in for normal personal training and coaching, but actually for that, the life coaching side of things, it's non-negotiable for me. Because all you're doing, for people that don't know about the power of gratitude journaling, if you start your day in the right frame of mind, which we've both spoken about now, like with all the best intentions, so you do the things you should be doing, you wake up, you got yourself into a nice routine, everything's all good. But then your day, because again, remember, you can't control life, you can't control what other people are going to do, you can't control what life's going to throw at you, and you have an absolute shit show of a day. Most people will be like, oh, so I'll start again tomorrow. But actually, if you do a gratitude journal before you go to bed, you've then taken control of that day. And what I do is you've got to look for 3 things that you're grateful for that happened that day. And what it does is it retrains your brain to look back through that shit show of a day and find 3 things that you're grateful for. Because there'll be 3 things that you'll be grateful for that happened that day. Because the day's been so shit, your brain is focused on that. Because the brain, if something good happens, the brain doesn't really care about that because it's nothing irrelevant. But if something bad happens, your body fears that you're in danger, so it will remember the bad stuff.
Yeah.
So if something bad happens to you or something gets said to you, then the brain will remember it. But if something good happens, like someone compliments your headband, for example, then you'll forget that. But if someone says, I don't like your watch, you'll remember that. Because then you're like, what do you mean don't like my watch? But then if you take the time before you go to bed to be like, right, what actually happened throughout my day? And you're going back. Oh, Dan said he really liked my headband. Then what it's doing is it's retraining your brain to spend that time, going to about the law of attraction, you're then in that positive state. So you're then thinking of positive things. The longer you stay in that thought process of positive things, you're going to attract more positive things. And then you go to bed. This is the most important thing. You go to bed in a positive frame of mind, and then you will wake up in a more positive frame of mind. So it starts your day off on the right path. Now, the more you do this and the better you get at it, it is absolutely fucking nuts, because I get to the point now where I'll be in my daily routine and someone will say something, do something, or I'll see something and I will instantly tell myself, this is fucking awesome. I will live in that moment and experience how grateful I am for that moment in the moment. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it's absolutely nuts. People say to me, why am I so obsessed with taking pictures of squirrels? Because I've seen my Instagram, I take pictures of squirrels all the time. But it's because I'll be walking and I'm so in the moment, I will see that squirrel and I'll be like, this is fucking awesome. There's literally a squirrel 2 feet, and I'll take a picture of it. But in that moment, I'm so grateful that I've literally experienced nature on that level. And it sounds really weird, but it can happen with anything. Whereas at work, you're so busy living in the negative things because there's so much negativity going around. If you can train your brain to look for the positives in the day as you're living it, then surely that's the best thing you can ever experience, because you're then going to constantly be living in a state of happiness.
Yeah. I think people as well don't realise good things don't have to just be like things that happen. It can literally be like having a house. If you've got money in your bank, if you've got a warm jumper on, like it's things that people take for granted. If people are listening to this, they've got the technology. This
is my biggest thing. When people say to me, I've got nothing to be grateful for, okay, and people at home right now that's listening to this or watching this, and you're saying, God, I have anything to be grateful for. If you're fucking watching this, or have a pen and paper to write a gratitude journal, here's 3 things for you. You have a pen, you have paper, and you have the ability to write. There's 3 fucking things to be grateful for. It's that simple. You are not in a third world country. You don't have anything not to be grateful for. And if you've ever been to a third world country, which I have, I've been to the townships of South Africa and coached these kids, literally, that have shacks. They are literally living in shacks. And it's horrific. They're walking around in bare feet. There's glass everywhere. Those motherfuckers are grateful. And they're living in literal poverty.
Yeah.
Because their brain is always looking for the positives. And also in the Western culture, because we don't have the latest iMac, MacBook or whatever it is, we feel like we're inferior and like we don't have anything to be grateful for.
There's people my age who have a house, like a Mercedes, all this stuff, and I'm just happy like having a bedroom in Nottingham.
But this is the thing, you find that people that actually have got that stuff might not be happy because they've got those things, but if they're not aware of what they've got, they'll constantly be searching for other things to make them feel what they can already feel inside themselves. They'll constantly be like, I need a bigger house, I need a bigger car, a better car,
yeah.
Where actually, if you've got the ability to be like, I'm cool, Like, my life is awesome right now. I have everything that I want, but I'd like a bigger house. That'd be awesome. But you don't need it. You don't need it to feel a certain way.
Yeah.
You just want it. Which is, you're allowed to want things. Like, I mean, this is the thing. I don't believe when people say, oh, yeah, you've got to have peace and love and just be happy with... No. Like, you can want things. I think you should want things and aspire to have these things. But if you're using that to get happiness and validate yourself, to show off to people, which most people do, then you do it for the wrong reasons. You need to be comfortable within yourself. And we've gone completely off track, but the power of, like, gratitude journaling, that simple act will just allow you to be happy with what you've got, and that's in the building block for the compound effect to get you moving in the right direction. Because once you've started moving in the right direction, it's a lot easier to keep the ball in motion.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Awesome. I just want to finish with another quote from a book, which is all to do with like gratitude journaling and stuff. Let me read that again. So bear with me, dyslexia. If a person is strong, even every failure they experience is taken to be a useful lesson, making them tougher and more experienced. Find joy in all parts of your world and you'll transform it into paradise. This is, of course, a very unusual way to behave, but it fits the unusual goal of becoming your own genie and making all your wishes come true. Unusual goals require unusual methods. So essentially, I take from that basically, if you're willing, people are trying to search for happiness, but I'm saying that becoming your own genie, you can create your own happiness because it comes from within. So if you're willing to look back at your shit show of a day and turn it into a positive, then surely that's the ultimate thing, that your shit day can actually then become a positive.
Yeah.
When you're learning from the experience, surely that's the ultimate thing you can do. And so I read that paragraph and I was like, fuck man, that's deep. That needs to go on my podcast. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes sense to me.
Again, I feel like we've gone so bloody deep in this podcast. Like, we've gone down all these rabbit holes. But in summary, because I feel like we've gone on all different tangents, it's very, very important that you get yourself into a morning and evening routine, because it just gives you that ability to start the day positive and end it positive. So no matter what happens in the middle of your day, if you control the start of your day and the end of the day, you're ultimately in control of what happens throughout that day, because you can have the biggest shit show of a day, but you can then restart and finish the day on a positive. So rather than starting the next day and say, oh, tomorrow's a new day, no. Finish the day off on a positive. Always finish the day off on a positive. Like when you say never go to bed mad at your partner. I completely agree. Like, just go to bed in a happy state of mind. You'll then wake up in a happy state of mind. You've got yourself into a nice little routine. You're going to be less stressed. You're going to go to work. Jane and Dave won't bother you as much because you're going to be happy and you're actually going to appreciate the fact you have a job for a start. And it's going to make you look at the positive things. So get yourself into a morning routine. In the evening, lay out your clothes for the next day. Do your bath. Do your little self-care. Read a book. Educate yourself. Whatever it is. But then in the morning, just give yourself like 30 minutes without your phone and see how much it changes your life to wake up in the headspace you want to be in, go about your business for 30 minutes, and then you let the world in when you are ready on your terms. And then your day will unfold how you want it to, because you're back in control. You're being active rather than reactive. Awesome. So, don't forget to follow us on social media, Instagram, at The Prime Life Project. Also, to find out what me and my team are doing, check out the website, www.primelifeproject.co.uk. I've got an amazing guest coming up next week, Juggy, the Indian body coach. We're talking all about Indian, vegetarian, and vegan diets. So make sure you subscribe either on YouTube or on your podcast so you don't miss it. Comment below, and also leave us a 5-star review. Leave some comments. We'd love to hear from you. And I'll see you guys next week.